Exchange program. We are meeting our Google Meet. Good morning, my dear friends. This is Padala Tirupati Assistant Professor, Department of Botany. Welcome to today's session. Today, this slide is visible, Amma? Nitrate reduction and ammonia assimilation and transamination.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, nitrate reduction, ammonia assimilation and transamination. So this is today's our topic, Amma. Nitrate reduction and ammonia assimilation. Okay, in this nitrate reduction, we are discussed in previous class or nitrogen cycle, the reduction of nitrate, the reduction of nitrate into ammonia and its incorporation in organic material is known as assimilatory nitrate reduction. Assimilatory nitrate reduction. The nitrogen in nitrate, that is nitrate, NO3 minus, that is nitrate, is much more oxidized than that in ammonia. So compared to ammonia and nitrate, so nitrate is more oxidized compared to ammonia. So therefore, nitrate must first be reduced to ammonia before. So before ammonia, nitrate is going to reduce it. That is nitrate reduction. So before going to ammonia reduction or ammonia assimilation, we are going to discuss nitrate reduction. Okay, then the nitrogen can be converted into an organic form. So this process is widespread among bacteria, fungi, and photosynthetic protists, and it is an important step in nitrogen cycle. We have already discussed in nitrogen cycle, you know. So this is a nitrogen cycle. This is visible, the beautiful slide. This slide is visible, Amma, nitrogen cycle.
Yes, sir.
So atmosphere, this molecular nitrogen is here in the atmosphere. This is a gaseous state. The molecular nitrogen, whenever the precipitation or whenever the rainy season in the lightning process, so nitrogen is fixed in the soil. But this is a very limit amount or little bit of amount or a small quantity of the nitrogen is reached to the soil through the lightning process in rainy season or through rain. But the other methods for the fixation of the nitrogen by the use of the nitrogen fixing organisms or microbes like blue-green algae and some of the bacteria. So this we can call as a biological nitrogen fixation. You know, yesterday we are already discussed about biological nitrogen fixation. So through microbes or through living organism, the diazotrophy, we can also call as diazotrophy. So nitrogen is fixed in the soil. But remember, my dear friends, whenever the molecular state is unable to utilize this form of the nitrogen, all the higher plants, only microbes can utilize. So this unusable or this molecular state is going to modify or transform or change the usable forms of like nitrates, ammonia, ammonium ion. So these are the ammonium ions or ammonium salts are compounds related to nitrogens. So these are usable form of the nitrogen for the utilization of the plants. Okay, in this process, this ammonia is going to nitrite form, then ammonia is through ammonia nitrifying bacteria going to transform into nitrate. So here nitrate assimilation we are observed. The nitrate assimilation through the plant roots or plants are utilized, or all the green plants or lower plants and higher plants can utilize these nitrates and develop and grow their size and utilize their physiological or metabolic activities. So this is related to nitrate assimilation and nitrate reduction. Then afterwards, after nitrogen assimilation or nitrate reduction, then we are going to discuss about how nitrate assimilation, then afterwards ammonia assimilation. So before ammonia assimilation, nitrate assimilation, in all the green plants, some of the fungi and bacteria we are observed through this nitrate reductase. So nitrate reductase enzymes utilized in the process of the nitrate reduction. So ammonia, since this is the nitrate is going to utilize NADH plus H plus in the presence of nitrate reductase enzyme, so nitrites is formed, nitrates and water molecule and NAD plus CC. So NADH is used for the energy, and these nitrates, so nitrate is going to nitrates, and nitrates can utilize 8 electrons, 8 protons. Remember, my dear friends, not 6 electrons, 8 electrons, 8 electrons, 8 protons. And by the use of by the presence of the nitrate reductase enzyme, then ammonium ion is formed. Ammonium ion is formed. This is nitrate assimilation in the process of the nitrate, in the presence of the nitrate reductase enzyme. So water molecule is produced. So this ammonium. Then afterwards, in the plants can assimilate most of the nitrate absorbed by their roots into organic nitrogen compounds. Majorly in the soil, the usable form of the nitrogen, they are the nitrates and nitrates. These are the nitrates and nitrates can be utilized or absorb the plants through roots and root hairs. The first step of this process is the reduction of nitrate. So nitrate reduction to nitrite in the cytosol. This step is first identified by the Oakes in 1994. Oakes is a scientist. 1994, he observed the nitrate reduction process in the cytosol of the living organism or the microbes. Then the cytosol catalyzed by nitrate reductase. So this is the first step of the earlier slide. So this is the first step of the nitrate reduction. So nitrate reduction, this nitrate and NADH plus in the presence of nitrate reductase enzyme. So this nitrate is formed. So this is a step again we are observing here. So this is a nitrite. Then afterwards the nitrate. The nitrate is going to reductase the second time. The nitrate reductase of higher plants are composed of 2 identical subunits, each containing 3 prosthetic groups. How many prosthetic groups, Amma? Prosthetic groups. 3 prosthetic groups. So the prosthetic group. Are you heard about this term, Amma? Prosthetic groups. Prosthetic group. Prosthetic group. Okay, you studied in your sixth semester in enzyme topic in our plant physiology. Madam will give the complete detailed information related to enzyme. So enzyme, any enzyme is 2 types. That is the number one is a simple enzyme. The second one is a holo enzyme or complex enzyme or holo enzyme. So holo enzyme contain the protein part and non-protein part. So protein part we can call as apoenzyme. Non-protein part we can call as prosthetic group. Okay, that is again divided into coenzyme A and cofactor. So that is different. So the complete detailed study about related to this enzyme we will discuss next class, or other madam will give the complete information related to this prosthetic group and enzymes. Here this nitrate reductase contain how many prosthetic groups, Amma? 3 prosthetic groups. Are you follow my class, Amma?
Yes, sir.
This slide is visible.
Yes, sir.
How many prosthetic groups are here? Come on, tell me. Number 1. Number 1.
FAD.
Yeah, FAD. So FAD is the flavin adenine dinucleotide. So then second prosthetic group is heme. The third prosthetic group is molybdenum complexed. So these are the 3 prosthetic groups contained in this 2 identical subunits of this nitrate reductase enzyme. So this the complex is an organic molecule called a pterin. This the name has given by Mendel and Stallmeyer in 1995, Campbell 1999. Okay, pterin. Then nitrate reductase converts nitrate to ammonium. Nitrate reductase converts nitrate to ammonia. It is visible. Nitrate reductase converts nitrate to ammonia. In this nitrite, NO2 minus, so nitrite is a highly reactive protein, a reactive potentially toxic ion compared to nitrate, NO3 minus. So this is a toxic ion. Plant cells immediately transport the nitrate generated by nitrate reduction from the cytosol into chloroplast in leaves and plastids in roots. So this is very, very usable form for the cytosol for the utilization of the chloroplasts and the leaves and plastids. So without nitrogen, so green chlorophyll is not able to synthesize or not able to visible as a green color. So the deficiency of this nitrogen or a nitrite, the leaves are going to shady or turned into yellow color. Okay. So green color converted into yellow color. So that is nitrogen. So this is the most important molecule in the chlorophyll, chloroplasts, even though all different plastids in roots also. Some of the plastids are present in roots. Are you accept? Are you agree? Plastids are present only leaves? No. So plastids are varies. Green plastics we can call it chloroplasts. Okay, colored plastics we can call as chromoplasts, and colorless are not related to any color we can call as leucoplasts. So plastics are having different parts of the plants. So chloroplast means which contain, plastids contain chlorophyll pigments. Then chromoplast contain chromoplast contain different colors for attracting the bees in pollination process of the all flowering plants. And the leucoplast contain does not contain any pigments, and which is useful for the preservation of the food material in roots. Some of the root plants means carrot, beetroot, and radish, and even the sweet potato, Ipomia batatas, and some of the asparagus, Shatamuli antam, asparagus, pilithigan. So these are containing leucoplasts in plastics contained in roots. So they are useful for the storage of the food material. And even though in these organelles, the enzyme nitrite reductase reduce nitrite to ammonium according to the following overall reactions. So this is the, remember my dear friends, this is the reaction, and before slide we are observed. So this is the second step for the nitrite reduction. This is the nitrate reduction, and this is the nitrite reduction to form ammonia. Okay, so this is the step for involving of the production of the ammonia. So this is the step NO2 minus, it's a ferredoxin FD, and 8 protons, 6 electrons, and ammonia is we are observed. So this is the step for the nitrite reductase. Okay, so this encoded in the nucleus and synthesized in the cytoplasm with N-terminal transit peptide that targets it to the plastids. So this is the nitrite reduction. Then ammonium assimilated by GS-GOGAT pathways. Ammonia assimilated by GS-GOGAT pathway. Okay, this GS means glutamine synthase, my dear friends. What is GS? See here. GS means glutamine synthase. GOGAT means glutamate. Okay, glutamate synthase. Okay, the complete pathways we will discuss in this topic. Then ammonia readily available to plants, but also quite toxic, inhibit dinitrogenase and interfere with energy metabolism. Remember, my dear friends, compared to nitrate is very toxic. Compared to nitrite, this ammonium is also quite toxic. And if this ammonium is inhibited dinitrogenase and interfere with energy metabolism. So this is the important point, Then the general pathway for ammonium assimilation was carried and found that initial organic products is glutamine. So glutamine is the first important product in the ammonia assimilation. Though assimilation of ammonium into glutamine by legume nodules. Are you heard about the legume nodules? Yesterday we have discussed. Okay, nodule formation. Okay, nodulation. The complete, what we can say that biological nitrogen fixation in the root nodule formation by the bacteria, that is the Rhizobium leguminosum in all leguminous plants. So non-leguminous plants also can produce root nodules by Frankia bacteria. And Frankia bacteria in different plants like Casuarina, Ulmus, Okay, yesterday class we are discussed. Then this legume nodules is accomplished by glutamine synthase, that is GS, a pathway involving two sequential enzymes. So these are the two sequential enzymes. Number one, glutamine synthase GS and glutamate synthase, that is two sequential enzymes we will discuss in this topic. So in this pathway, we are observed PS2 proteins regulate the GS GOGAT pathway and senses ATP status and alpha glutarate levels by allosterically. Then cellular nitrogen is checked by glutamine availability. So this is the sequential steps we are observed. Then PS2 and uridine triphosphate, that is P2UMP. UMP means uridylation process. Okay, UMP means uridyl monophosphate. So UTP means uridine triphosphate. Are you follow ma? Uridine triphosphate, UTP. UMP means uridyl monophosphate. So this is the uridylation. Then activate the GS GOGAT system, and conversely, when glutamine levels are high, that is a PS2, that is P2, PS2 uridyl monophosphate, and converts back to PS2, inactivate the GS GOGAT, hence slow down the ammonia assimilation. So now we are going to each and every two pathways, primary pathways and alternate pathway we are discussing here. In this ammonia assimilation, conversion of ammonia generated from nitrate assimilation or photorespiration into amino acid. So this is consists two pathways. Number one, primary pathway. Number two, alternative pathway. Number one, primary pathway. Number two, alternative pathway. So primary pathway, this is visible.
Yes, sir.
So primary pathway consists of how many enzymes they are involved in primary pathways? These are the two enzymes. Number one, sequential enzymes. That is number one, glutamine synthase. Okay, glutamine synthetase, that is GS. And second one is GOGAT, that is glutamate synthase. This glutamate synthase also GS synthetase and glutamate synthase. Also we can call it as glutamine 2-oxoglutarate aminotransferase. So this is the abbreviation of the GOGAT. My dear friends, without this question, there is no question paper in our sixth semester. So in nitrogen metabolism, definitely you remember and you by heart and you study about this ammonia assimilation. In this ammonia assimilation, you must study about glutamine synthetase and glutamate synthesis. So this is the difference, my dear friends, glutamine synthetase and glutamate synthesis. This glutamate synthesis also we can call as GOGAT. So this GOGAT, glutamine 2-oxoglutarate aminotransferase. Come on, tell me, Amma, the abbreviation of GOGAT. GOGAT means goat, not goat. GOGAT. Okay, without G, goat. But you must add G. So that is GOGAT. So GOGAT means, tell me. Remember, it is a competitive question also. GOGAT means GS GOGAT. GS means glutamine synthetase. See here, glutamine. Then second enzyme is glutamate. Okay. So these are the two sequential enzymes. So these are two enzymes, my dear friends. Glutamine and glutamate. So glutamine synthase means GS. Glutamate synthase means GOGAT. So GOGAT, the complete abbreviation is glutamine 2-oxoglutarate aminotransferase. So GOGAT, GOGAT. So this glutamine synthetase is available in two forms. Number one, in cytosol, and the second one is present in the plastids, roots. What we can say that? Cytosol, roots, plastids, and shoot, chloroplasts also. So this, what you observed, Amma? So glutamine synthetase present cytosol of the all cells, which means It is present, the enzyme presence in prokaryotic living organism and even the eukaryotic living organism. And the two form, the another form is present in roots of the plastids, shoot, chloroplast. Roots. So some of the friends asking me, sir, root plastids, root does not contain plastids, sir. No, my dear friends, root also consists plastids, but they are not green chlorophyllous plastids. Roots also consist plastids, they are leucoplasts. Is it clear? Are you follow? Roots also consist plastids, but they are not green chlorophyllous plastids. They are leucoplasts, not colored or colorless plastids are present, which are useful for the storage of the food material. Is it agree? Then shoot present chloroplast. Sir, shoot is nothing but branches. You know, branches does not contain chloroplast. All greeny leaves contain chloroplast. No, my dear friends. The young shoot are definitely contain this chloroplast. So young shoots, they are also they are also shows, or they are uh, involved in the photosynthesis. Why? Because the chloroplasts are present in young shoots or young branches also. All young branches contain a green chlorophyllous area that present chloroplasts, which are useful for the making of the food material through sunlight, or in the process we can call it physiological function, we can call it as photosynthesis. So shoot chloroplast, also this glutamate synthesis present. Then the second one is the glutamate synthesis, also we can call as the GOGAT, glutamate 2-oxoglutarate aminotransferase. Is it clear, Amma? This slide is clear. We will move for next slide. Then what is the action, synthetase action, the glutamine synthetase. So this is the first enzyme involving the ammonia assimilation. Are you follow? So this is the glutamine synthase. Primary pathway consists two enzymes. One is glutamine synthetase. Is it clear? So what is the reactions, or what are the action takes place in the cytosolic form and even the root plastids and shoot chloroplast form? So we are clearly discussing here. So glutamine synthetase action in cytosolic form expressed in germinating seeds. Are you agree or not? So this glutamine synthetase action is expressing in germinating seeds or in vascular bundle of roots and shoots. So this is the first reaction which is responsible for the germinating of the seeds. So how it's possible? How it is possible through different phytohormones related to growth regulators like gibberellins. You know, gibberellin. Are you heard about the phytohormones? Are you studied in your earlier classes? In intermediate second year, gibberellins. Are you follow?
Yes, sir.
So this cytosolic form, this enzyme is activated by, or this enzyme reaction is activated by the phytohormone, that is gibberellin, in the different seeds. So seed germination, expressed in germinating of seeds, the glutamine synthetase is very responsible, and or even the vascular bundles of roots and shoots also. Vascular bundles of roots and shoots also. Why it is responsible for the cell division, or the elongation of the cells. Okay, then the second point is that the produce glutamine for intracellular nitrogen transport. Intracellular nitrogen transport. Are you intercellular, you know? Intracellular means within the cell. I will show. So this is the parenchymatous tissue. The tissue is visible, Amma. I am drawing here. This is the parenchymatous tissue. So parenchyma or any tissue contain group of cells, you know. So these are the group of the cells. So these cells, the group of the cells are within the tissue. We are So the tissue, within the tissue, we are observed some of the spaces among the cells. The spaces we can call as, anybody say, anybody tell me? The spaces among, Amma, very good. Which cellular? Intercellular spaces. Intercellular spaces. Intercellular means among the cells. Among the cells. But what we studied? Intracellular nitrogen transport. Intracellular nitrogen transport. Intracellular means within the cell. Within the cell. So this is a cell. Within the cell, we can call as intracellular. Is it clear? So this intracellular nitrogen transport for this the glutamine synthetase, we are observed intracellular nitrogen transport. Are you clear about intracellular? Intercellular as intracellular. So this cytosolic form of this glutamine synthetase is responsible for intracellular nitrogen transport. Intracellular nitrogen transport. Then the second, that is the root plastids and shoot chloroplasts. So in roots, it produces amide, nitrogen for local consumption. Amide for local consumption. In shoots, it reassimilates photorespiratory ammonia. Photorespiratory ammonia. So this is the two forms, cytosolic form of the glutamine synthetase and the root plastids and shoot chloroplast form. So this root plastids, this is a local consumption of the amide nitrogen. And in shoots, the reassimilates photorespiratory ammonia. So this is about the reactions or synthetase actions we are observed. Then glutamate synthetase action. So this is the second one. This is the glutamine synthetase action. This is GS. Definitely exam. This is the examination question. Very important. Glutamine synthetase action. These contain two forms. One is the cytosolic form. Then another one is the root plastids and shoot chloroform. So this chloroplast form, this is involving different actions. The cytosolic form involved. The root plastids and shoot chloroplasts are involved. Okay, so this is the glutamine synthetase action. The second one is the enzyme, that is glutamate synthetase. This glutamate synthetase also we can call as glutamine 2-oxoglutarate. Okay, so this is the action involved. Transfer amide. Okay, so this is amide. We are already discussed here in the glutamine synthetase action also. See here, my dear friends. So this is glutamine synthetase is it produce amide nitrogen for local consumption. Then this glutamate synthetase action, this amide, it transfer group of glutamine to 2-oxoglutarate and yields 2 glutamate molecules. See here, so this is the alpha ketoglutarate. Are you heard about this term, alpha ketoglutarate? In Krebs cycle, this is the 5-carbon component, you know, Krebs cycle, alpha ketoglutarate. So this alpha ketoglutarate, this glutamine, my dear friends, this glutamine interaction with in the presence of NADPH, glutamate synthetase. See here, glutamate synthase enzyme, so produce glutamates. So this is glutamate. Is clear? Glutamate. So this is the glutamate synthetase action. Then how many types of the glutamate synthetase action? Glutamate synthetase. So these are the types. We observe two types. Number one, NADH go get. Number two is FD go get. NADH means nicotinamide dehydrogenase. FD means ferredoxin. Is it clear? These are the we are observed in the in Krebs cycle, you know. So Krebs cycle we can call it as amphibolic pathway. We have already discussed in that class. Amphibolic pathway, not only catabolic activities and anabolic activities also involved in the process of the amino acid biosynthesis. So this also we remember and recollect the information, that is NADH. So here, these types of the GOGAT, the first one is NADH GOGAT, the second one is FD GOGAT. From first one, NADH GOGAT accepts electrons from NADH, so located in plastids of non-photosynthetic tissue like roots or vascular bundles. VB means vascular bundles of developing leaves. Some of the friends are asking me, sir, vascular bundles in leaves also, na? Yes, definitely. So vascular, the end point of the vascular bundles we can also call it as veins, veins. So the main vein, main axis, main midrib are main veins, and lateral veins in the leaves, So that is the end points of the so I will draw here. So this is the leaf. So this is the leaf. This is the main axis of the midrib. Midrib also nothing but vascular bundle end, and which shows the lateral veins also. Lateral veins. So these are nothing but vascular bundle, the end point of the vascular bundles. Are you agree or not? Tell me. You are not follow my class. If you follow, you react, you respond, Amma. Are you follow my class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Are you going to sleep? Or feel bored? Only 2 points, 2 words I am listen in this class. Yes, sir. No, sir. See. So NADH GOGAT, in this NADH GOGAT accept electrons from NADH, see here NADH, and isolated. So these are the located in plastids of non-photosynthetic tissue like roots and vascular bundles of developing leaves. Okay, so this is the glutamate. See here, glutamate 2-oxoglutarate used in the presence of the NADH. So 2-glutamate is synthesized. Okay. 2-glutamate. Then FD GOGAT, ferredaxin GOGAT, this is also. So these are electrons from NADH. Here electrons from ferredaxin. So this is the in reduction state, and this is the FD is oxidation state. So this whenever the accepts electrons from ferredaxin, so this is going to oxidize. Then located in chloroplast. So these, my dear friends, NADH GOGAT located in plastids of non-photosynthetic tissues like roots and vascular bundles. Here, FD GOGAT, ferredaxin GOGAT, located in chloroplasts and serves in photorespiratory nitrogen metabolism. So this is the main difference between NADH and FD GOGAT. So this both GOGAT are useful for the electron acceptor from NADH and FD, that is the ferredaxin, that is FD. But the location is varies. First, NADH GOGAT located in plastids of non-photosynthetic tissue, roots and vascular bundles. This FD located only green chlorophyll spots, that is the chloroplast, and serves in photorespiratory nitrogen metabolism. See here, this glutamine in the 2+2-oxoglutarate in the presence of FD ferredaxin in reduction state to oxidation state, and which is accept the electrons from ferredaxin. So this is the types of the GOGAT. So this is the first and primary pathway. And see here, my dear friends, and the ammonia assimilation we are going to clearly elaborately explain in this. How many pathways? 2 pathways. Number 1, primary pathways. In primary pathways, we can sequential enzymes involved in number 1, glutamate synthetase, and number 2, glutamate synthesis. First one is GS, the second enzyme is GOGAT, glutamate 2-oxoglutarate aminotransferase. So 2 enzymes are involved in the primary pathways. So these are the reactions of the two pathway, two sequential enzymes of the primary pathway. Then the second one is the alternative pathway. The second one is alternative pathway. Is it clear? This slide is visible. Alternative pathway. Alternative pathway. Slide is visible. So this alternative pathway, the enzyme involved is a glutamate dehydrogenase, that is GDH. That is GDH, glutamate dehydrogenase enzyme. Hence, this is also known as GDH pathway. So in previous, what pathways we are observed? What pathways? Number one, NADH go get, then FD go get. So this here GDH pathway. GDH means glutamate dehydrogenase pathway. In this pathway, catalysis, synthesis and deamination of glutamate. And it is a reversible process. My dear friends, these are the non-reversible, irreversible process. So NADH go get and FDH go get, FD go get is irreversible process. My dear friends, here this alternative pathway, that is a GDH, that is a glutamate dehydrogenase, dehydrogenase pathway is reversible pathway. So this is the main difference between two pathways. So primary pathway is irreversible pathway, but alternative pathway is reversible pathway. From glutamate to alpha glutarate to glutamate. Are you observed?
Yes,
Okay now. Okay now. So this from whenever the necessary, the glutamate is converted into alpha ketoglutarate. From alpha ketoglutarate, when necessary, the alpha ketoglutarate is going to convert into glutamate. So that's why this reaction is a reversible process. Whenever the catalyzation or whenever the catalytic process or anabolic pathways. So catabolic, anabolic. So this is the two reversible pathways. This is the alternative pathway. Then transamination reaction. So this trans of amino group of an amino acid to alpha ketoglutaric acid, resulting in formation of new amino acid and new keto acid. In the Krebs cycle we are observed. So this is the catalyzed by transaminase enzyme. Transaminase enzyme. Also we can call it as amino transferase. Amino transferase means amino group which is transfer from one amino acid to another, or one amino group amino acid to alpha keto acid. So this is the, so see here amino group. This is the amino group, and this is the alpha keto acid in the presence of transaminase. So this is the enzyme. So the transaminase enzyme. So new keto acid is present. So this is in the presence of cofactor, that is pyridoxal phosphate. So pyridoxal, the pyridoxal phosphate or pyridoxal phosphate is nothing but that is a vitamin B6. So this is a B complex, that is pyridoxal phosphate. So B6 we can also call it pyridoxal. So this is also reversible reaction. This is also reversible reaction. Then my dear friends, not all amino acids undergo transamination reaction. For example, lysine, threonine, proline, hydroxyproline. So this role of pyridoxal phosphate, that is PLP, pyridoxal phosphate. PLP means pyridoxal phosphate. This pyridoxal phosphate served as a carrier of amino group. So this pyridoxal phosphate is a carrier of amino group, and transfer of alpha amino group to pyridoxal phosphate forms and pyridoxal amino phosphate and a keto acid. And alpha amino group is finally transferred to acceptor keto acid to form a new amino acid. So this is transamination process. For example, see here, this is catalyzed by aspartate transaminase and catalyzed by alanine transaminase. This is aspartate transaminase and this is alanine transaminase. Remember, my dear friends, all these reactions are reversible reactions. So this is the presence of aspartate transaminase enzyme. So this aspartate is going to form new glutamate and oxaloacetate. Here, alanine is going to form pyruvate and glutamate. Pyruvate and glutamate in the presence of alanine transaminase. So this is the catalyzation process in the process of transamination process to synthesize new amino acid. Okay, so this is about amination, ammonia assimilation. And what are the significance? What is the significance? The formation of non-essential amino acids, for example, alanine, aspartate. These are the two non-essential amino acids. Are you heard about the term essential amino acids and non-essential amino acids? So our body, our human beings, or even the animals and even the plants, they are use amino acids based on the utilization of the amino acids. Amino acids are two types. Number one is essential amino acids, which is not produced or synthesized within the body of the living organism, that we can call as essential amino acids. Non-essential amino acids means which are synthesized within the living organism, within the cell. So the amino acids are non-essential, not essential. So that is the for example, this alanine and aspartate, these are the two amino acids are non-essential for the living organism. And my dear friends, the second significance of this assimilation process, recycling of carbon skeleton, for the oxaloacetate, for the pyruvate. So whenever the pyruvate or pyruvic acid or the pyruvate and oxaloacetate, this oxaloacetate in the Krebs cycle and pyruvate in the glycolysis process. So these are the recycling of the carbon skeleton. So this is the significance of the ammonia assimilation. Okay, the cycle shows about how the the skeleton, carbon skeleton for the amino acids for the different cycles. So this is the, my dear friends, this is the glycolysis and this is the Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle. So this is the intermolecular changes or intermediate for the different cycles for the involving of the metabolic activities like anabolic or catabolic activities. Okay, so this cycle shows about how they are interchangeable or conversible from acetyl coenzyme to pyruvate or pyruvate to acetyl coenzyme. Is it clear? So this is the reversible reactions we are observing. And this is the aspartate and from the oxaloacetic alpha ketoglutarate acid to arginine, glutamine and histidine and proline. And from succinic acid, the isoleucine, methionine, threonine and valine. And from fumarate, then aspartate, phenylalanine and tyrosine. And oxaloacetate, the aspargine and aspartate. So these are the forms of the from different state of the Krebs cycle. Okay, so if you have any doubt, please ask me, Amma. If you have any doubt, please ask me. No doubt? No doubt?
No, sir.
So what we discussed today, Amma? Nitrate reduction, ammonia assimilation. In this ammonia assimilation, we are observed two pathways, primary pathways and alternative pathway. Primary pathway consists two sequential enzymes, that is GS, glutamine synthetase, and second enzyme is glutamate synthetase. Also we can call as GOGAT. Okay, so this is most important, Amma. If you have any doubt, please ask me. I will clarify. If you don't have any doubt, I will stop here, Amma. Madam. Okay, yesterday what we discussed, Amma? Nitrogen fixation. And day before yesterday, nitrogen cycle. So these are all in the process of metabolism. Which metabolism? Nitrogen metabolism. So nitrogen metabolism is a very, very important process for the all living organism, prokaryotic or eukaryotic living organism. Why we can say that? Why we can say? Because nitrogen is very, very important element after water molecule, after water content. because this is the involvement of the all types of the metabolic activities, respiration process, enzyme process, hormones, enzymes, all physiological functioning in plants and animals also. Okay. Okay, Nama, I will stop here. If you have any doubt, please ask me, Amma. No doubt?